Horizon International manufactures paving stones. Think flash commercial courtyards, bespoke paved areas for home and public spaces. A staff of 20, they are not essential services, but they are integral to construction. Its managing director, John Roper, has drafted a plan to return to work safely when we move to level 3, and he joins us now. John, will you be straight out of the starting gate tomorrow? The Prime Minister's given you the thumbs up to start preparing to go back to work.
Yeah, we've done a bit of preparation prior to the announcement today, and we had anticipated the availability to start work next week. So we've put our plans into place, which will take the rest of the week to put them in place and make sure that we've got a safe environment for all our guys to kick off next week. Yeah.
So how different are things going to be?
Oh, I think they'll be quite a lot different, really. I mean, you'll have to have new footwork practices to separate the guys and all the things that have been certainly spoken of until now. I think it'll be a slower start point. I don't think production will be to the level that it would normally be, as everybody will be a bit careful and a bit edgy about what they're doing. But that's to be expected. It'll be a gradual build-up as to when you get into full production.
Paint a picture for me, John. I mean, under normal circumstances, how closely would people be working together, and how are you going to manage all of that stuff?
Yeah, we're fortunate in our process, which is a production line. We normally work at least 2 metres apart from one area where the guys are within about a metre distance. But we have some Filipino workers who we're lucky enough to have working for us, and they live together. So in that close proximity, if we change our process around and put those guys who are within close proximity anyway, it'll certainly but leave them apart. It'll certainly assist us in our processing.
So in essence, you're restricting one part of your production to an already existing bubble. Am I getting that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So will you be able to bring all your workers back, or will some people still be stood down under this level 3 regime?
Yeah, our factory workers will be all back together, but our sales and office staff will be operating from home. We won't be opening our showrooms or our office, and they've been working from home up until now, and it's just really an extension of where we are at present, which seems to be working okay.
Is it a relief to hear the news today?
Yeah, it is really. Not only for us, but for everybody, I guess. We'd like to think that this whole push about Buy New Zealand is also a pretty important aspect, and I think that's something that will gain momentum. And so with the emphasis on that Buy New Zealand plus being able to get back into work, I think that we are conservatively looking forward to the next period of time and the challenges that it'll have for us and everybody else.
So at the end of this, we would have been 5 weeks at level 4. I mean, how much has that hurt from a business point of view?
Yes, substantially. We've probably spent the last virtually every day since the lockdown occurred with trying to manage and model our financial situation, and it's all we've got various models as to how many days and how long and etc. that it would last for, and how it managed that position. And it has been a challenge, but we're in a position, I think, that if we are very careful and we manage it properly, we won't be losing any staff, and everybody will retain their jobs and be back on full pay just as soon as we possibly can, which is a fantastic relief when you think of all of the people who are relying on us to provide them their security for their involvement.
So when you say you're hoping to be back on full pay shortly, how have you managed that? I imagine that you applied for wage subsidies?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, for sure. But I guess it's just about managing the relationships that we have with our people who are our the people that we supply, and just working alongside them and making sure that whole money go round is continuing. And by doing that, it will enable us to manage to get through and keep everybody fully engaged.
So are you in a rented premise?
Yes.
Did you seek any relief in terms of the rent that you're paying?
Yes, we did, and we've got a fantastic people who are our landlord, and we've got several locations, and each one is a separate situation. But no, everybody who we have has been really accommodating, and we've really appreciated the assistance that they've given us to enable us to just to protect our cash position and ensure that we're ready to go. Yeah, everybody's been really working together, which is just fantastic.
I mean, how quickly is it going to take you to scale up? Because are there sort of things that you literally had to down tools and walk away from when we were declared to be in a lockdown?
Oh yes, yeah, for sure. We're involved with, as you said, in the construction industry, and as part of that, we've got some infrastructure projects that we are supplying to, and they'll be opening those up at the moment, and we've just got to make sure that we've got all of our raw materials and products available that we can supply them, so that they can continue on and do their part of it, and we don't hold them up with the product that we're manufacturing for them.
You mentioned this idea that, businesses are going to be relying on people to buy New Zealand made. Is that a message you want to hear the government pushing?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it's interesting that like I guess the rest of the world, everybody has got the importation of materials from China, and we also are large importers of materials from China. But we have a large engine of cost structure which is running our factory, and we strongly believe that with a change of emphasis where possible across the board,